election just under a month away, I'm joined by Alex Sakariassen with the Montana Free Press. Alex, you recently published an article about how constitutional initiatives aim to make Montana elections more competitive. What are constitutional initiatives 126 and 127?
Yeah, Kylie. So, constitutional initiatives 126 and 127 would alter how both Montana's primary and general elections are run. So, with CI 126, the focus is on the primary. Currently, Montana has what you might be able to call a pick a party primary. You get ballots for every different party that has a primary. You choose one of those parties, cast your ballot, and then the other ballots get thrown away. How this would work is that all the candidates, regardless of party, would be put on a single ballot. Voters would get that ballot during the primary. They would be able to vote for one candidate in each race, regardless of party. And then the top four vote getters from each of those races would advance to the general election. With CI 127, the focus there is on the general election, and that would essentially amend Montana's constitution to require a general election candidate to get a majority or more than 50% of the vote in order to declare victory. The details about how it would work if no one gets 50% will be resolved by the 2025 legislative session. That's really what the initiative spells out.
Great. And then how would these initiatives change things for Montana voters?
Yeah, so like I said, with the primary elections in particular, this would be a really stark contrast. So, typically in Montana, voters don't register based on their political
Mhm.
party. So when they go to the ballot, when they go to the polls during the primary election or when they're casting their absentee ballots, they pick a party. And this primary system would enable a lot of vote splitting or ticket splitting. Folks could vote for Democrat in one race. They could vote for Republican in another. They could vote for a third party candidate if they choose. And it would really, yeah, just change not only the, number of ballots and the length of that ballot that voters get, but really the choices that they have in front of them. So.
Okay. And then what was your biggest takeaway from this story as a whole? I mean, this is a meaty article.
Yeah, it's a meaty subject.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, one of the big takeaways that I came away with was that this really isn't a Montana only conversation. There are several other states that are looking at similar changes through the initiative process this year on their own general election ballots. This is really a national conversation that's coming out of a lot of concern about both the level of outside influence and outside money that has become dominant in politics across America, and really the divisiveness that has come to characterize a lot of
Mhm.
political campaigns, particularly during primary seasons. And so there's really a sort of recognition nationally that among advocates of these sorts of initiatives, that something needs to be done and something needs to be
Mhm.
done differently. Uh, there's not a whole really robust body of research out there yet on exactly how these kinds of changes uh, pan out, but three states in the country have run top two primaries, which, unlike Montana's CI 126, advanced only two primary candidates to the general election, most noticeably in Washington state. That's been the name of the game since 2008, despite a
Mhm.
very lengthy legal battle leading to that decision. And I did find some research that seemed to suggest, at least among congressional delegates in those three states, top two primaries did have a marginal impact on the level of extremism noted in the voting records of people who advanced to Congress. So,
All right. Thanks so much for joining me, Alex. I appreciate your time.
yeah, thanks, Kylie.